Today I'm going to show you how to make magic mist for your acrylic paintings, and this will extend the drying time of your acrylic paintings while you're trying to blend your colors, and you will make beautiful backgrounds of different colors and it'll extend drying time. And so magic mist is to help your acrylic paintings stay wet longer so you can blend. So you can blend your paints and your colors, and it'll make your canvas nice and slick so your paints will just slide and glide over your canvas beautifully. And then you'll be able to work a little longer. I have magic white, which lasts up to about an hour or more, and so I have a link to that below for the magic white. I will also show you how to make magic clear. So to make magic mist, you need a misting bottle, of course, not a spray bottle. Spray bottles, a lot of water comes out, okay? But to make magic mist, you need some misting bottles, right? You get them at your dollar stores or at your craft shops, wherever they sell this type of, and they're very misty. See, mist. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a nice one. And then I have this one here. This is messy because I've been using it for other colors. And that's just a perfume bottle, body mist, right? So anything with mist on it. So use the bottle, but you get the clear ones like these. I just happen to have a hand sanitizer, and that's a mist. And anything that's mist, I will take it and I will use it because I use magic mist all the time now. It's a time I didn't use anything. I couldn't understand. Acrylic paints were drying so fast, and everybody was emailing me and saying, how do you get your paints to stay wet? So I couldn't figure it out because I was misting it with water, and then it just dry again. My paints would get transparent, it would water down my paints. It just wouldn't work very good. And for years and years and years, that's the way I was doing it. I was trying to just continuously mist my paints with water. And then I thought, there got to be a better way. There got to be a better way. So finally I came up with magic white. And looking at the Bob Ross videos and things, I thought, well, they got magic white for their oil paints. And they mixed it for oils, even though they don't use it for extending the drying time of their oils, they're using it to make their canvas slick. I would like to have, how can I come up with something that will brighten up your colors? Your acrylic paints, they dry dull. And what can I get to brighten up your colors? And what can I get to extend the drying time for about an hour or so? And what can I get to make it slick? Because you save money on your paints. The paints, they go so much further when you use the magic white and the mist, the magic mist. So your basic ingredients are slow dry blending medium by Liquid X, but you can use any slow dry blending medium, okay? Anything, just any one. It doesn't have to be this brand. It can be whatever brand. I love Liquid X, and that's why I use them, but I'll leave the link to this below. So this one here, it dries to a glossy. It has a little bit of a gloss on it, so if you don't want that, make sure you look for a medium that is matte. So yeah, I really like this. So you need something like this and something that's fluid here, right? So that's one thing. And like I said, so and then we have, which I find this also good, is Professional Slow Dry Blending Gel Medium. And this one's by Artist Loft. Now you can get them all different brands. I found this one pretty good. Take your misting bottle and take this one might be easier because it's fluid. So you can take that and then put it in here and fill it up to about a third of the way. Alright? So fill up to about a third of the way, because we want to have double the water of your, okay, want to double up the water. You may have to experiment with the different measurements because whatever works for you, Depends on like your temperature of your room. Depends on how long you leave it on your canvas. So it depends on a couple of things. So you'll have to experiment with this yourself. So if you use this, then all you got to do then is to add your little bit of white paint. Half the white paint. So if you used third here, then you just use half paint. Okay, so that's half. It's about half. And then you can add the rest in water, and then you shake it up. So then be a third of your gel, right, of your slow dry blending gel. So you put that in, and then you just put in enough white, half of that third for white paint. So you probably have to experiment with the measurements, and then the rest in water. So it's so simple, like that way you don't have to think about it too much. You just know what you have to put in there. So once you put in a third of your slow dry blending gel, then half of that again for your white, okay, and then the rest in water. Pretty simple. And just use nice misting bottle, see? Nobody can see that. And so you can use any, so even if you use a small misting bottle or a big one, doesn't matter. It's always, like to me, it's always the third, and half of that again for your white, and then the rest in water. So that's pretty simple. I'm trying to make it as simple as I can for you. No sense making it like chemistry or something. So, so if you use a small, little misting bottle like this one, I like this one because the mist really mists out. It's really nice. I like these. So you try get a misting bottle. It's like for body mist, but even if it's this small, go a third. All right, and then half of that again for your white, and then the rest in water. That's it. That's all you need to do. And so that is one way to make your magic mist. And I put the white in it so that it'll enhance your colors, and so that it will brighten up your colors, and so that it'll extend the drying time of your acrylic paint as you're working. You can mist all you want then, right? Because it's not, it's all, we have white in it, so it keeps everything opaque. It won't make your paints transparent like water does, just plain water. So that's how I mist my canvases. Now I'm going to show you some examples of that now in a minute, but I just want to show you different ways you can make your magic mist. So another way to make your magic mist is to do the same, is to add 2 or 3 different types of, like this one here is your professional slow dry, it's a gel. So you can mix your slow dry, more liquidy, right? You're going to need this, right? You're going to need one of those, something that's pretty liquidy, right? And then if you want to put this in, because that will extend the drying time even more, because now you're using like a thick gel. Okay, so you can use that. So if I were so if you mix 2 of these together, it's just half and half. Okay, half and half. Whatever. If you use a third of this, use a third of this. Okay, same amounts. And then the rest in. And then if you want to add your white, then half white, and then the rest in water. Okay. So hopefully that's not too complicated for you. So the magic mist that I came up with, I made it in late 2020, and then I started using it in my paintings. So I really hope this helps you, and I hope you enjoy it. And that way you can just mist your paints all the time as you're painting along, and it'll make your blending so much easier. It's great for large areas, great for blending colors together. But the bigger areas is what I use it on. So I'm just going to, so you go ahead and try that. And if you have any questions, or you're not sure about the measurements, or you're not sure about the brand names or whatever, I'll leave links in my description down below so you can get some of these blending gels in my Amazon shop. And guys, try that for me. Try it for me, so I can find out if it's working good for you. Because if it's not, then I won't talk about it anymore. But I really believe in it. I love it, and I'm going to use it all the time now. I use my magic white, and I use my magic mist, and I'm going to make some, and I just made some magic clear. Okay, the magic clear that we made was without the white paint. Okay, so I made it clear. Okay, so that's magic mist clear and magic mist white. So here's some examples of how I blend with my magic mist. Now, this is not the magic white. The magic white is used without the water. So this is these are just examples. So see that background there? That has to blend. And you know yourself, when you're trying to blend just acrylics, it dries really fast and you're trying to work with it, you're trying to put more paint. For bigger areas and for blending backgrounds, you can also use that smaller areas. Like if you were doing this tree here, you could spray it on there, so see all those nice colors, see all those nice values would blend better, right? It'd be easier to blend. Like it says, anything large and big that you need to blend the colors and to keep it wet longer, that's where you're going to find it really good. And see that background here? See all the blues and the whites and the pinks and everything? That's all the background in the background here. And you can use either the magic white, but we'll leave the magic white for another video that I already did. So we'll just talk about magic mist today because I want to mix you up. So if you want to just mist it and keep your paints wet, the larger the area, you may need the magic white, okay, because it's thicker and it lasts up to an hour. So if you need to work for up to an hour or more, you're going to need the magic white recipe that I made. That will do that. But the magic mist will last for about 5 minutes or so, right? Because there's water in it, so it's going to dry faster. And so that's another nice background that, you know, and I don't have videos on those yet, but I may do it. So, and then we have like this one here. This one here. See the sky? See how the colors blended beautifully? See how soft and beautifully they're blended? That's done with magic white, okay? So you can also do it. We'll just play around with some stuff here now today to show you that you can use your magic mist to get the same results. But it won't, like I say, it'll dry faster. That's the big difference. It'll dry a lot faster, okay? This painting here was done with magic white. I used magic white on all this. See how beautiful it's blended? See the beautiful colors blended together? Like I know some of you guys are having a hard time with a hard line and the colors not blending. So this is what helps you, right? Get all these nice, beautiful blending. And see how nice and smooth it is. And see how the colors are nice and bright. Now this one here I used magic mist. See the background? See how beautiful that background it comes together? See how everything is blended beautifully? I used magic mist on that background. Alright. I even sprayed a little bit when I was doing this here because it kept drying on me. And so that helped that. Now I have a blank canvas. I'm going to show you how I'm going to use my magic mist to make some colors. So I want to show you some brushes that you can use, okay? So I love this brush here. It's just a makeup brush, alright? This is just a makeup brush. And it's soft, and you can get them for $2 or $3 at your stores. It's a fluffy brush, soft and fluffy. You can also use a watercolor brush. I also have just a synthetic brush. Now this is the magic mist that we made. It's in this bottle here, okay? And this is the one that I made with the Liquid Slow Dry Blending Medium. Alright, that's liquidy, which I find much easier for mist. And a little bit of white paint that we used, okay? We mixed two of those together, and then we added the water, okay? So what I did is I put in about 1/3 of the bottle of the white and the slow dry blending gel, and then I filled the rest with water. So now that I have my magic mist, okay? Marvelous. So that's my favorite one, but I'll also show it to you without the white added, and I'll also show it to you with a thicker medium added to it. So let's see now. First, what you would do, there's a couple of different ways you would probably, you can use a brush. So let's do it with a brush first. So there's going to be a few different ways I'm going to show you because you might want to paint different ways. So say I just got I only have just my primary colors of red, yellow, and blue. I'd put a bit of green there and some white, okay? So just say you're going to paint a nice a nice sky. We'll just say we're going to paint a nice sky. Okay, so we'll just take our blue paint and we'll, lots of white, and then we decide to add it there. And it's moving nicely because the paint is fresh there now. And then you come down a little bit and see how the paint is coming off there. It's not going on completely. Look at that. See that? So you say, okay, well, I'll use my magic mist. It's magic. So we'll use magic mist. Now I won't even... Now this magic mist got the white paint in it, so that'll brighten it up again. So I won't even clean my brush. I won't even put any more paint on my brush. So the paint is already on there. Just watch. You'll see it's just like magic. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's amazing. It's fantastic. I hope you try this. So then it's going back and forth, and it even keeps the paint colors separated. That's what I like about it too. You have separation. Look at that. Now, never even had to add any more paint to my brush. If I didn't have this magic mist, I would have had to add more paint. I would have had a hard time blending. That's why a lot of people didn't want to do acrylics, because they were frustrated and they didn't want to use them. They were going to go back to oils, or they're going to try and learn oil painting instead. But now you can paint acrylics just like oils. Look at that. Now that is very nice. You wouldn't get that effect without the magic mist. Now just say you want to, you can clean your brush. And then you can say you want a nice sunset down here. So let's say you put on red next. Red, okay? So you just put on your red. Now the magic mist is still on there because you misted that whole top of your canvas. Look at that. So you need a little bit of red, right? A little bit. Now of course you want those two colors to blend here nicely. So you can just blend them beautifully. Look. Look how beautiful they're blending. Look. And it's not even spoiling what you already did. It's just beautiful. Now, you want to lighten that up. Put some white paint on there. And lighten it up with your white paint. Even though there's white in the magic mist, it's still not going to lighten up as much as you would want. You might want it even more light, so you just put on your white paint. And look, you can still go back up here like this. See that? It just blends those two colors together. The transition is beautiful. And the paint is beautiful. Okay, now you want to have maybe a yellow bottom. So I'm going to put some paint on there. I don't need a lot. I keep forgetting. It's magic mist, so I don't need a big lot of yellow. I left my brush dirty because now it's got white, bit of red on it and white. But you get a really nice orangey sky now. And there we go. So you need once you do one bottle like this, it'll probably last you for a year or more, depending on how much painting you do, I guess, maybe, you know. And look how those two colors blend beautifully together. Like I said, that's why it's magic. It's amazing. It just is amazing. And look, you still get to keep your red. You still get to keep your orange. You want that orange brightened up, put white on there. You can do that too. Look at that. And you can even go all the way up into your red. If you wanted to change that color a little bit, or you wanted to, but you still won't lose all your red. Alright. If you got a lot of paint on your brush and you want to go up into that blue, just clean your brush off. Get a nice clean brush with no paint on it. And then go pat those two lines there. And that will transition beautifully for you. And you can work with that. I would say you get a good 10-15 minutes out of that. Of work time. Look. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that gorgeous? And you can keep adding as much white as you want. If you want to brighten it up even more. Maybe I put on, you know, like you can put on a lighter yellow if you want. This is just for demonstration, alright? So that's how you transition. That's how everything blends together beautifully. And with your magic white. Now we'll do another way to do it with a different brush. Okay, so that's that brush, that way of transitioning your colors using your magic white. So pretty. Also, I should show you this too before I go. The brush we're going to use now is the makeup brush that I keep talking about. Now see, that's pretty nice though, isn't it? But the brush that I just used is still leaving some streaks. So you'll say, well, I don't want it that streaky. Well, you will get the streaks out with this brush here. This is the makeup brush, okay? Very soft. You can also try a watercolor brush. Alright, so just watch. Now that's still wet, right, from your magic white. Once it dries, you can't do any of this, alright? But look, it's taking the streaks out now. And you can go back and forth, and that will keep it smooth. And that will keep it soft, and you can go right down into your reds and your oranges without ruining them. Isn't that nice? I want to show you as many different ways as I can. See how soft that came out now? See how it changed it? Changed it completely, didn't it? And that brush that I just showed you, all you gotta do is wash it with soap and water and wipe it into some tissue or a towel, and it'll come back to normal. Now we're going to use the same formula. I'm going to stick with this one until I'm ready to move on to the Magic Mist Clear. This is Magic Mist White. Okay, so that you're adding white to your blending gel, and that way it'll brighten up your colors. But if you don't want to do anything, you don't want to make any changes to your colors, or you just want to clear, you just leave out the white, that's all. So I can demonstrate with that also. So this is the one with the white paint and the slow dry blending gel. Okay, this is what we're using now. Right. So I'm going to do a demonstration now with just the slow dry blending medium. All right. And that is 1/3 of your bottle of that slow dry blending medium, and the rest water. Now it looks white, but it dries clear, so it won't enhance your colors, it won't brighten them up or anything, but you may not want to. You may want to have it just the way it is. So what you can do is you can either start painting, I showed you on the sky, or you can mist your canvas first. And I'll tell you what I prefer to do is I prefer to mist my canvas first. That way I'll get it started. So I mist my canvas first, and then alright, good. Marvelous. I have my Magic Mist Clear on there. No white paint at all. And I'm just going to add some color. And you can use a brush, or you can use your fluffy brush. So let's go right, let's do it a bit different this time. Instead of putting the paint on first, we can actually use the brush to put colors on. So say we're doing a background. Say we want a background of maybe a bit of burnt sienna, right? Maybe a bit of burnt sienna first. Just put a bit of paint on there. And say we want our background to be everything here. So then you can start, where do you want your dark? So say you want a dark over here and light over there. So you can start putting that on. And because of the Magic Mist, just look how gorgeous that is. Now I don't have the white on. If I had white on there, that would turn a lighter color. That would bring the colors up a bit more. It would, and it would actually, wouldn't be as streaky, okay? It wouldn't be as streaky, like I showed you with the sky. So this is what you get when you don't add the white to it, okay? It's a little more streaky, I noticed. All right, I see that. But if you want to add the white, after you want to make that decision yourself, you can go into your white, okay? Go into your white, add some white to your brush, and then you can start adding the white to smooth it out a bit. See? But it changes the color. I'm just doing this because demonstrations, in case you don't want to change the color and you don't want to lighten up, you want the pure color. So, but it will be a little streakier. A little bit streakier. You might need then a second coat, but that could be difficult because you're... Okay, so just showing you different ways. Like I said, this could be the way that you want to do it, but you might want the streaks. Sometimes streaks are really nice. And then you might want to add a little bit of red to your dirty brush. And then you can put on your red. And see how that beautifully blends in with that Look, you can actually go over there and it won't change the color of that. It'll come right back into the red again. See? That's what I love about it. It just doesn't, it doesn't mess up your colors. Right? And I love this brush for the blending part of it. It's beautiful. Now if I use a regular brush, you can still get a nice blend, but see, it doesn't give it smooth, but it's nice. Let's keep using this for a minute. So let's say we want to add some yellow. I'll just throw some yellow on my brush. Don't need a big lot because I'm saving paint by having my magic mist on there. And that's blending beautifully. Okay, yeah, even with this brush. All right, nice. Very nice. Look, see how I can go right over into the red and it doesn't change it very much? Look, I can even go right over into the brown. But like I said, without the white, without the magic mist with white, it's more a little more transparent. As you can see, it's transparent and it has a little more streaks. Then if you want to change that up, you can add white to it. And then you can see how I changed that? It lightened it up and took out the streaks. See that? So either way, you can do it this way. But like I said, the technique is, if you want the streaks, you might want the streaks, you might want the transparency. I don't know, let's go with blue. So we want blue. A light blue maybe. There you go. There we go. And you'll also notice that yellow will blend into that blue beautifully and change it into a little bit of add a little bit of white to your blue. Depends on how the colors in rainbow. Isn't that pretty? Now if you notice that the paint is not coming off your brush good enough, like that, then mist it again. Okay? Because maybe it's starting to dry a little bit now. So you just mist it again. And you can't really overdo it, but once you start using it, you'll get an idea how much you want to use, okay? Alright. So, see how pretty you can make your backgrounds? I mean, you can... When you start using this, I don't think you're going to be able to go back to just acrylic paint. I think it's going to be very difficult to use acrylic paint without this. Alright? It's just so beautiful. Great for large areas, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, if you want to soften that up a bit more, look, you can even go, look, and it won't ruin your colors. Look, you can go from blue with your dirty brush, right over to yellow, and right over to the red, and then over to that other color, burnt sienna. Now, you want those colors to be more blendable. As pretty as it is, actually. Okay? I'm just going to clean my brush a little bit. That's the fluffy brush, okay? So in order to get it back to fluffy, so that it won't be too wet, all you do is get a bit of tissue and dry it off like that. And it'll go back to normal. Alright? So it just takes a little bit of rubbing into a towel. And you wash it with soap and water. I didn't wash that with soap and water yet. And it just goes back to normal. And then now you can use that to blend these colors. And because it's still wet, make sure it's still wet, you can take that brush and go back and forth like that to blend them even more. Now, so experiment with this now and have some fun. Experiment with the different blending gels, the different measurements, but I usually half and half is good when you're using the two gels, a gel and a medium. I find half and half. When I add the white, I just use probably half of the mixture, just add a small amount of white. Say you use half a cup of blending gels, then use half of that again for white. And then the rest in water, like I showed you in the bottle, right? Look, just look. I I went back and you know, sometimes when you do that, all the colors end up being one color. But look, I didn't lose any of the colors. That's the magic. That's why it's magic. So I think that's enough demonstrations for now. If I think any more, I will. And if you think of any more, you can put them in the comment section. Let me know how you did with it and how it turned out for you. And I think that is gorgeous.